Oh, literally everything is going wrong so far this sesh. I don't know what to think about it. I'll go heavier though, eh? All right, so it's late on a Friday arvo, or Friday evening actually, 6:30. Got to knock out a session, leg session. Pretty tired, pretty run down. Haven't had caffeine for almost 1 month. Tomorrow is 1 month, which I'm pretty surprised by. So really running off fumes. Just finished my warm up, working on some hip extension mobility, some lateral hip tilting mobility as well. I wouldn't call it mobility, I'm just saying I'm trying to move the body. I don't really like the term mobility that much. Started off with some plyometrics as well, some lateral bound and skips, or skater bounds, or whatever you'd like to call them. I've just done a couple of sets of big jump, little jumps. The way I did it was basically I would just do a few really small, really light, and then gradually increase the intensity. And when I picked up really good rhythm, I'd do 6 reps of 1 little jump, 1 big jump with that good rhythm once I kind of picked it up. Now I'm going to perform some high intensity pogo jumps, and I'm going to use kind of the same principle. I'm going to get some rhythm first with some big jump, little jumps. Then when I got my rhythm, I'm going 6 pounds on the ground, and I'm supersetting it in my warm up with overhead squats. Getting some rhythm. All right. All right. I failed my last overhead squat set on like the 3rd or 4th rep and just dropped it. So now I need to clean and jerk it up, I guess, which is annoying. Ah, this shit. All right, to be brutally honest, I've had an absolute stinker of a session so far. Not to worry, we all have shit sessions here and there, and you can always overcome them and actually end up finishing well. So I'm gonna just try to do 3 really nice feeling, nice looking reps. And if I get that, then bang, we're going straight to squatting. Oh, let's not put 1 more. That's all right, whatever. Honestly, not feeling great right now. Feeling really sluggish and heavy, but I'm just gonna roll into the heavy squats and just kind of see how we feel from there. Ugh. I did honestly come into this session with absolutely zero, what's the word I'm thinking of? Expectations, so I shouldn't be that upset that it's not going too well, but that's all right. I literally came in with zero plan, just thought I'm gonna do a squat session and then do some plyos beforehand and then some isolated work afterwards. So yeah, I'm gonna see how heavy I can go really. Because yeah, I just didn't feel stable at all during those overhead squats, which isn't ideal. Usually I feel very stable, especially with that not so heavy weight. And then honing in on that technique really helps me when I move into my heavy squats. So the fact that it didn't feel really stable and balanced is not ideal, but we'll see how the first heavy set feels. Fuck, feels heavy. Whoops, we'll see.
Love the gym so much. You might as well work here. Check out the careers page on our website.
Oh, literally everything is going wrong so far this sesh. I don't know what to think about it. I'll go heavier though, eh? All right, after the mics not working at the start of the session, then forgetting to plug the mics in, then just feeling heavy and sluggish AF, then not executing my lifts well or properly, after all that, I'm still gonna give it a red hot crack. This is kind of that fork in the road though with training where you have 2 options. You try to crack in, lock in and see what happens, or You just graciously accept defeat, or not even necessarily defeat, but just that it's not your day. And then you manipulate the structure of your session to kind of help mitigate the potential risks that could occur. I'm taking the definitely riskier route. I would probably recommend to take the opposite route, but I'm also just cautiously doing it as well. I'm not going to jump up to a crazy weight. I'm just going to see how stuff feels. So I'll take 135 for a spin for like 3 or 4. If I can get 4, that's feeling all right like that, then I should be able to progress. If not, I might just have to simmer on that for tonight, which to be honest isn't that bad for me either. No famous last words, just gonna do it. I usually squat to music as well, so in my headphones obviously, which is kind of weird not, but she'll be right. I don't know, really not sure what to think of that. The duality of man right now. I'll have a sit and think about it. All right, this reminds me of a really important way that I coach my clients, and something that I tell my clients: you're gonna have really good days and you're gonna have really bad days. And when you're feeling really good, chase it. And when you're feeling really shit, simmer down and kind of work cohesively with that feeling and don't try to work against it. With all my clients, I work on a RPE scale, or reps in reserve kind of way to monitor their intensity. I don't do like percentage-based lifting with anybody because of exactly what I'm saying. Like if you feel really good and your usual weight that you do, you actually feel like it's quite light and you can really push the needle, why not push the needle? Like if you're feeling good, go for gold. If you're not feeling good, tone it back a bit. So for example, this 135 for 4 is like a legit 9 out of 10 for me right now. On other days, it's an 8, maybe even less. So I'm probably not gonna push it much more. I'm gonna do one more set and see how it feels. And if it feels good, then yeah, I'll go up for a final set. But if not, I'm just sticking to it because you just got to listen to your body, and the body right now is telling me that it's pretty knackered, which is cool. I do think that there's not really any particular reason as to why, if you're feeling really good, like really good, you shouldn't push the envelope a little bit more, and vice versa, the polar opposite. If you're feeling really bad, I don't see a reason why you shouldn't tone it back a bit. There's no reason to force anything, and that's my kind of query with percentage-based lifting. It obviously is context dependent on the sport, like the person training, the athlete, their abilities and stuff like that. For example, if you've got like a team of footy players performing running in the AFL, obviously you're going to work off percentages, and I think running's like an entirely different thing, to be fair. But I think lifting is so subjective, and you can really play around with it and adjust it on a day-to-day basis, or even mid-training session. But I'm gonna do another one. Oh my God. All right, that's the side of my fate. That's me for tonight. But this is honestly a clear example of monitoring your intensity based off the way you feel and RPE. This is obviously a way higher RPE right now than it usually ever is. So I've got to make the adjustments. It would be irresponsible not to make the appropriate adjustments. So I'm probably just going to do one more set of 4 because it's quite a struggle tonight, and then regroup, reassess. Yeah, really don't be afraid to do this in your training. Ego lifting is a huge thing as well, especially with young men. even old men to be honest, but men in general, love trying to impress everyone around them in the gym. And if you're comfortable with yourself, who really cares? And honestly, another really important thing to consider or to talk about with training in the gym and strength training is just like the psychological aspect of it, and how you can seriously hype yourself out of a lift if that's the way your mentality is at the time. Like even just your approach, you hear a lot of famous power lifters say they kind of like visualize the outcome. They basically manifest what's going to happen, not from the start of the lift, from a minute before the lift, a minute before they even get onto the platform to perform the lift. These guys and girls say they're really manifesting and visualizing the outcome already. And from there, you give yourself the best opportunity to actually achieve that outcome. Whereas like me, for example, right now, I'm walking into this lift and I'm thinking, oh, I better make sure that my rack is really good. I get the rack on my back and I think, oh, it's not tight enough, or it doesn't feel as stable or as balanced as I want it to be. It's really easy to get into your head, and that's why practice really makes perfect with executing the lifts, because the more reps you get under the bar and the more reps you execute appropriately, the more you just ingrain into your brain how you want to move the weight and the best possible way you can move the weight. And essentially, the more you do it, the more it just becomes clockwork. Really important, especially, for example, bench pressing. People are always saying, oh, I need to get my bench up. I'm trying everything. Are you bench pressing like 3 times a week? That'll probably help more than any kind of other thing you can do, especially if you've got like a short term period in which you need to achieve X amount of weight on the bar. Oh, no energy. One more for old time's sake, hey? Oh my God, that was legit so hard. 100% done, 100% done. All right, 2 more exercises of this dreaded session. 2 up, 1 down, lying hamstring curls, and I'll do some sort of calf raise variation. All right. Oh, nice, good feeling, awesome feeling. All right, literally the last set of the evening, I'm done. Thank God. That's me done. That was an absolute slog. Got to be probably the biggest slog I'll have this year. Thanks for watching. If you continue to watch this far, if you like this stuff, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching me go through this absolute day of misery. Thank you.